Silver is still sitting at around $39 per ounce, and while it keeps teasing that it's going to go over 40, it just won't break through, and the hype may be fading. In fact, many coin shops are reporting that they're getting flooded with silver, and with the gold to silver ratio tightening, we may be seeing even more stackers either take profit or convert their silver into gold. Well, today we're going to be talking with a coin shop owner who just a couple of weeks ago saw a spike in sales when it first hit 39, but now he is starting to see the complete opposite. In fact, yesterday he says that he bought over $10,000 and only sold less than $100. So what's going to happen if this keeps going? What if silver hits 30? What if it goes all the way to 50? How are stackers going to react? Well, we're going to talk to our coin dealer about that and more, so let's get into it. But really quick, do me a favor, don't forget to go down below and make sure you are subscribed and hit that like to help YouTube recommend this video to others. My channel is sponsored by SDBullion.com. New customers can get their first order of gold or silver at spot by going to SDBullion.com/new. All right, guys, so we are here today joined by Keith from the Coin Crew. Keith, welcome back to the channel. How are you?
I am sweating. It's hot outside. Other than that, I'm great.
It is.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. I'm glad to have you. It is incredibly hot outside. Keith, I want to jump right into it. I want to talk a little bit about the gold to silver ratio, about the silver coming into your shop, and what happens if those numbers continue to get tighter. And I want to start by this, telling you this. So a few weeks ago, I did a video on the channel, and I actually had Mike from Mid-America Coins on there as well. He had spoke to me about a customer who had came in and swapped 40 ounces of gold into silver in his shop. And at the time, the GSR was 103 or 104 to 1. I don't remember exactly. And granted, he didn't get that full ratio, but he got a lot better than what the GSR is today, sitting at 86 to 1. What I'm starting to wonder about, Keith, and I want to kind of dive into this, is with the GSR tightening up, do you think people are going to kind of slow down on silver and start going into gold again?
I think that's quite possible because with a closer gold to silver ratio, people are going to sit there and think, well, I let my gold slack a little bit because silver was such a great buy. It might be time to maybe trade up or do something like that.
Yeah, and that makes sense. I was kind of wondering about that because that guy did really well. Now it's down to 86 to 1. Even if he lost 5 ounces on both ends, and I don't think it was quite that bad, he could swap back in and get a lot more gold than he had, originally started with. And I think people are going to be looking at that as a way to do something with the increased value of their silver. Now, we were talking earlier before the show, and you had said that yesterday, which was your first day open admittedly, so you don't have a full week behind you yet, but you had said yesterday you actually had, you had bought like $10,000 in product. I don't know if it was silver or gold, but you had bought $10,000 across the counter and you sold less than $100. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. I did buy at or about $10,000, maybe a little more, a little less, but pretty darn close. And I sold almost $100. It was 90-something dollars. And it was silver. Yeah, it was silver also.
So you bought all silver yesterday? Or did you buy any gold at all?
No gold, a couple collectible coins, but no gold at all.
Okay. So a couple of weeks, Keith, I had you on the channel. I called you via voice. You weren't on screen, but you had said that right after it had spiked to 39 for the first time, you had some excitement, some people walking into your shop buying silver. Does it seem like that has faded now that silver's now hit 39 twice and it seems like there's a ceiling that it doesn't want to cross at this point?
It does apparently feel like it's kind of faded, but sellers and buyers, they all have different levels they're going to sell at and buy at. One fella that sold me almost half of what I bought yesterday, he has levels. He had a level at 35. He had a level at 39. He would have been in Monday, he said, but we're not open. So he came in and he sold. And I think we're at a level now where some of these people are actually ready to sell and take a little bit of the profit off the table.
So people are taking profit now at 39. So, a couple of weeks ago, there were people excited about buying in your shop. Do you think the reason they're thinking about doing it this time that it hit 39, because remember it hit 39 a couple of weeks ago also, is because of that ceiling that I talked about? It just seems like silver doesn't want to kind of cross into the $40 territory.
It's having a tough time crossing over 40. What I believe could be the issue is people don't only just look at the here and now price like Kitco, Monex, or whoever. They also look at the silver futures. And Monday, the silver futures touched almost $40, Whereas today they're just a little over 39, and it could startle a few people, and they're thinking, is there going to be more pullback? I think it's time to start leveling some of it downward.
Okay. So people worried about pullback, wanting to sell silver and take profits while they have the opportunity, maybe buy it back when it gets lower. So what happens if you have all these people that bought a bunch of silver at 39, and then let's say, and again, we don't have a crystal ball here, guys. Any numbers I'm throwing out there, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I don't know. But let's just say, for example, silver drops from 39. Let's say at the end of August, it's at 30. Do you think those people come back in and buy their silver back?
I think quite a few of them will come back to look at it like, hey, I just made $9 an ounce. I'm in it. A lot of people are going to do that, but not everybody will, because some of the people that are selling are just, they held on to it because it was an inheritance or somebody give it to them or bought it for them as a gift. So they just sold it just because it was at a good point. And that's the people that are not going to come back. But I do think people that are in it for the long haul, the buying and selling of silver, yeah, I think a lot of them will come back if it fell that low.
Now, Keith, and this isn't financial advice by any means, but do you think stackers should just hold their silver rather than sell in this market going wild like it is?
Well, that's really an intriguing question. Now, we form our opinions from other people's opinions, from, a little bit of research and analytical charts. As far as the stackers holding it, I mean, if you have a chance to take profit, there's nothing wrong with taking a little profit off the table. But I do recommend don't sell such a large portion that if it does a zigzag the opposite way, that you could miss out.
That's fair. So nothing wrong with taking some profit. Just don't go all in is what you would say.
Yeah, that's basically a short version of it.
Fair enough. Now let's flip the script. Let's say, and again, guys, for the haters, I'm not saying silver's going to go to 50. I have no idea. We don't have a crystal ball. But let's say, for example, it does, by the end of August, go to 50. Well, Keith, I was doing the math. And if gold stays stagnant like it has for the last couple of months, because everyone's excited about silver, and then we see it climb, and it hits $50 an ounce, that's going to make the GSR under 70 to 1. What happens when you have a combination of people coming in to take profit on their silver just to pocket the fiat, and then you also have people coming in that don't necessarily want to get out of precious metals, but they do see an opportunity to take all of their silver and turn it into gold? What happens to all the silver? That's going to be a lot of silver coming into shops, even more than we're seeing right now. What's going to happen to all that silver? Who's going to buy it? Where is it going to go? Are shops going to keep paying strong for it? Are they going to lower the premiums? Just give us your opinion. What's going to happen here?
Again, like I said, our opinions are formed from other opinions and research. My opinion is simple. If it goes up that fast, you're talking 35, 40 days, there's going to be a massive pullback. As far as where the silver is going to go, well, it's still needed in industry such as EVs, computers, cell phones, etc. So its demand is not going to decrease on the industrial standard, but it will decrease a little bit on the investment standard, which is a very small portion of what silver is used for. Now, 70 to 1, I think a lot of people are going to start trading their silver for gold. Me personally, in my personal stack, I guess you could say I would buy gold, but I wouldn't trade yet. I'm looking for that 50 to 1 before I start getting rid of my silver for gold. I do like gold better, but I just think silver has more of an upswing potential.
Okay, fair enough. But at 50, do you still think it has more of an upswing potential?
Yeah, I definitely do.
Okay, fair enough. So you said you wouldn't swap your silver into gold until it hit 50 to 1. But you did say that at 70 to 1, you would, instead of buying silver, buy gold?
Yes, that is correct. I think at 70 to 1, I would be more into buying gold over silver because it's a better bargain.
You're not going to be the only person thinking that, though. So we're going to have, this is just, my speculation, we're going to have a bunch of people taking profit on silver, selling at the shops. We may have some people even swapping based on that GSR to gold. We're not going to have we're going to have a lot of people like yourself where they're like, all right, well, I'm not going to swap my silver into gold at 70 to 1. I want to wait till it gets tighter, but I would buy gold instead of silver at that number. So you're going to have an even lower demand for physical silver for investment than we do today. So again, my question is, What happens to all the silver? Like, yes, I understand you said that the industrial side will still be buying it, but the investment silver, our bars, our rounds, our eagles, the investment side isn't buying that silver. They're buying the big 1,000-ounce Comex bar. So what's going to happen, with all the silver that's coming into the shops, that's going to the wholesalers?
Excuse me for skipping over your question. What I think is going to happen with the silver, I think premiums are going to have to come down because shops are going to get more of it on hand. And as you know, it's a supply and demand type commodity.
So how far down can they go? I mean, I've seen, shops, SD Bullion, for example, literally had 1.25 ounce, silver coins, BU, on sale for melt, like just a couple of days ago. I've seen at the coin show we were just at together, we saw rounds on the floor for spot price. How much lower can it go? Are you going to have shops selling silver below spot?
Yes, you probably will. You go back 22 years ago to 2003, silver was sitting about $4.25 an ounce. Wow, that's cheap. And I would not buy it as a coin dealer for $3.50 because I could not sell it for spot. You're talking 22% below spot, and I still wouldn't buy it. It just wasn't moving, and that is part of it as well. Is it going to still be moving? That will determine how much the premium will be.
Fair enough. So the reason I'm throwing this line of questions at you, and I understand it's hard questions to answer, so I apologize. I'm not trying to make it too tough, but I see a lot of people comment in my videos, like, what's going to happen? I buy all the silver, I stack all the silver with the expectation that when I need, if I ever need, to turn it into fiat so I can pay for an emergency or whatever it may be, I'm going to be able to easily sell it. And I guess my concern is, or their concern is, I'm not really that concerned about it, but, I can see where they're coming from. The concern is that if silver keeps going up and demand for physical silver keeps going down, silver may be $50 an ounce, but they're not going to get anywhere near 50 for that. And that's, I think that's what a lot of people are concerned about, which is why I'm just asking.
That is a little bit of a challenge to invest in something and you're not going to get nowhere near what it's worth. That is with any commodity, whether it be an automobile or a gallon of milk. If nobody's buying it, the prices are going to come down, even though it shows the prices should be at a certain level. Now, taking that in mind, you just need to be cautious. We all stack silver for the long haul, hope we don't ever have to use it. But if it's there, if we had kept that money instead of buying silver or gold, would we still have it, or would we have wasted it on something we really didn't need?
So, Keith, what would you recommend the people that are worried about, like, the scenarios that we talked about? What would you tell them to do?
Investing is not for the faint of heart. You have to be patient. Silver has its ups. Silver has its downs. You just need to try to hold on until it gets back in favor. It's like anything else, in favor, out of favor. But if you're anything like me, with my luck, you need the money. It's not always in your favor.
Fair enough. Well, Keith, that's really all I had. I do appreciate you joining us. Did you have anything you wanted to add before we go?
I don't know. Keep on stacking. I mean, I don't know. Thanks for having me, though.
For sure. Guys, just so you know, Keith obviously has his own coin shop. It's Coin Zone in Muskegon, Michigan. He also has his own YouTube channel called The Coin Crew. I'll put a link for that down below. Keith, thank you so much. All right, guys, so I hope you enjoyed the interview with Keith. And if you did and want to support this channel more, please don't forget to like and subscribe and help us continue to grow. And also, if you want to support us more directly, you can check out my channel membership options by clicking the join button. So check those out. And other than that, have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.